None are perfect. None do everything without tiny flaws. Nobody expects perfection. But everybody loves to receive. Give from your heart, speak from your soul, and the outcome will be delightful imperfection. I wanted to start off with those words because when I was told, guided to do this, as I said before, it's out of my comfort zone. I can stand up at the front on platform and talk for hours. I started trying to make these videos and I would mumble off into some oblivion, make a mistake and stop. Then I'd re-record it again and again and again until it was in my mind perfect. So I edited out all the ums and the ahs and the ooh, I've made a mistake. And it was taking me an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to sit down and make what was essentially just a 10-minute video, albeit an important one. So I was sitting last night doing my meditation, feeling a little bit frustrated because I couldn't get it right. And those words came to me. So from now on, if I make a little mistake or I stumble or that a fly flies around my head, for example, as it's doing now, I'm not going to stop it and start again. I'm just going to talk. And those of you that know me know I'm very good at that. And see where it goes. So I thought today I'd give you a little insight into how all of this came about. A little insight into me and my story. I was born and brought up in Birmingham in the UK, and I didn't awaken until I was age 60. As a spiritual medium, I'm so blessed that when my dad passed back 8 years ago now, I could actually still hear him, still speak to him, still get him to talk to me. I've faced difficulties throughout my life, but through what these processes have unearthed for me, and the input that Dad's had into my work, because he has been there, sat on my shoulder, telling me what to do and what not to do, as he always did. It's only now in later years that my true self has started to evolve. And most of my early life was dogged by ill health, disability. In 2023, when I discovered that through my spirituality, I could help other people through what I was receiving. It never occurred to me that I could do this. It never occurred to me that I could help these people in such a way. But it was something that was always lurking somewhere. I didn't really know where it came from. As a child, I saw spirit. I think a lot of children do, but I was terrified by it and pulled the blankets up and went, go away, I don't want to see all these people. They did as I asked eventually, and they just left me alone. But by 2005, I'd met my husband of now, Norm, and we had an idea. And we just literally went where life took us because we embarked on a new journey. We trusted in the guidance from universe, and a dream that we both had turned into reality. We bought a camper van and off we went. And we were guided to end up where we have now. I continued with my personal development and went on to work on platform, work with crystals, work with the angels, and I was really enjoying life. And suddenly in 2014, bang, the illnesses flared up, big style. And just like I'd done back in my 30s, I was crying out for help because I was totally in a collapsed state, not knowing where to turn. Really scared, as I'd been many, many years before. Those cries for help yielded something that was very special. Whenever I went to a spiritual centre, my dad managed to come through. The medium always brought Dad, which was lovely, and I absolutely loved him for that. But if you can imagine, week after week after week, who was getting the messages? Anna Marie. And I could feel the eyes boring into my back. She always gets messages. Why does she always get messages? So on this particular night, when I'd been crying out for help, I said to my dad in the car, and that might sound a little bit crazy, but I used to talk to him on the way. Don't come through tonight, Dad. Everybody's getting a bit fed up with it. So I'll talk to you on the way home. That's fine. Got to the end of the service and I was really relieved. Dad had asked. Done what? Excuse me. You see, there's a little imperfection just cropping in there. Dad had done what I asked. He hadn't appeared. But obviously the universe had other ideas because the medium stood up and she's now become a very good friend. At the time, I didn't know who she was. She stood up and she said, Anna Marie, I've got a message for you. And I just went, oh no. And I cue all those thoughts from people behind me. And she said, no, this is not your dad. And I was like, okay. She said, this is somebody very special. It's a divine being who wants to come and talk to you. At which point my mind went into overdrive. Okay, do divine beings exist? Why are they talking to me? I'm just a human being, a humble person. I believe in angels, but divine beings, not so sure. I was to buy a big book because I was going to receive a very great deal of information, and it must all be documented. It was important. Well, needless to say, I came out of that centre that night absolutely perplexed. I was thinking so many things, but I always follow what I'm given. So I went out and I bought that book. Excuse me. And I didn't have to wait very long because those messages started very quickly. The odd word turned into a sentence turned into a paragraph turned into an A4 page written in the middle of the night while I was asleep with absolutely no awareness of what I was doing. I'd wake up in the morning and think, well, where's all this come from? And as I began to read it and take note of it, I realised this was the help I'd been crying out for. I started to record videos so that I could listen to myself. Believe me, that's a little bit of an odd concept when you first do it. Actually telling myself a nice journey. So all of this is called channeling, and that channeling turned into this program. This is what I want to share with you. And many more people are receiving similar information, and new patterns are emerging across the world because different and mind-blowing techniques are being brought about for all of us human beings who are ready to listen. It's available to anyone who wants to recognise their own ability. So next time I'm going to introduce my beautiful divine being, and she helped me to make tiny changes, small steps to go forward and bring about my healing and allow my life to alter into what it's become today. Every day make a small change. Allow the big changes to take care of themselves. Thank you for joining me, and I'll look forward to introducing my divine being to you very soon. Bye for now.